Hello, friend. I am your guide, and tonight I will be your guide on a journey through the velvet expanse of the cosmos. Before we begin our ascent into the quiet reaches of the universe, let us take a moment to settle into the here and now. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. The day has finished its rotation, much like the Earth turning away from the sun, allowing the soft, cooling blanket of night to settle over the world. Find a position that allows your body to feel completely supported. Perhaps you are lying on your back, your weight distributed evenly, sinking into the mattress as if it were a cloud designed just for you. Or perhaps you are resting on your side, curled in a posture of comfort and safety. Whatever shape you take, let it be one of absolute ease. Close your eyes and visualize the space around you dimming, the edges of the room softening until there is only a gentle, comforting darkness. Take a deep breath in, drawing the cool, clean air into your lungs, holding it for just a moment, and then release it slowly. With that exhale, imagine a wave of relaxation flowing from the top of your head down to your toes. Let your forehead smooth out, releasing any tension held in your brow. Let your jaw loosen, your tongue resting gently on the floor of your mouth. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, sinking lower, as if heavy sandbags have been removed from them. Feel this wave of heaviness travel down your arms, past your elbows, into your wrists, and finally into your hands, leaving your fingers soft and open. Continue this journey of relaxation down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, letting the muscles of your back spread wide and loose. Feel your chest rise and fall with a slow, rhythmic cadence, like the gentle tide of a midnight ocean. Let your hips settle, feeling the pull of gravity anchoring you safely to your bed. Let your legs become heavy, the large muscles of your thighs relaxing, your knees softening, your calves releasing their hold. Finally, let this wave wash over your ankles and into your feet until you feel completely weightless, suspended in a state of pure, uninterrupted calm. You are safe here. You are warm. You are ready to listen. Tonight, we are going to explore the most relaxing facts about our universe. We will count the stars, not one by one, but by the wonders they hold. We will float through the great expanse of space, where silence reigns and beauty is born from the dust. We will learn about the lights that guide us, the nurseries where stars are born, and the ancient rhythms of the cosmos that mirror the beating of your own heart. Let us begin by turning our inner gaze upward, toward the night sky. Imagine you are lying on a grassy hill on a perfect summer night. The air is crisp and smells of dew and sweet earth. Above you, the dome of the sky is an endless tapestry of deep indigo and black, scattered with diamonds that shimmer with a steadfast light. This is your sanctuary. The universe is vast, but it is not empty. It is filled with stories, with history, and with a peace that has existed for billions of years. Our first collection of facts concerns the nature of light and distance, the very fabric of what we see when we look up. Consider the beam of light. It is the messenger of the universe. Light travels at a specific cosmic speed limit. It moves at approximately 186,000 miles per second. To put that into perspective, in the time it takes for your heart to beat just once, a beam of light could circle our entire Earth 7 times. It is fast, but the universe is so vast that even light takes time to travel across the void. This brings us to a profound realization. Looking at the stars is actually looking back in time. Because light does not arrive instantly, the image you see is a snapshot of the past. The moon you might see through your window is not the moon of this exact second, but the moon of 1.3 seconds ago. The sunlight that warms your face on a gentle afternoon left the surface of the sun over 8 minutes before it touched your skin. It traveled 93 million miles across the silent vacuum of space just to reach you. As we look further out, we travel deeper into history. The next closest star to us, Proxima Centauri is over 4 light-years away. When you look at it, you are seeing it as it was 4 years ago. If you find the Andromeda Galaxy, a faint smudge of light in the dark sky, you are seeing light that began its journey 2.5 million years ago. That light left its home when early humans were just beginning to walk the Earth, traveling silently through the darkness for eons, only to end its journey tonight, in your eye, connecting you to deep, ancient history. There is a comfort in this. The night sky is a living museum. It reminds us that the past is still shining, that nothing is truly lost. The light from stars that may have burned out centuries ago is still traveling, still bright, still beautiful, carrying its message across the ages. Now, visualize that starlight. It is not just white light. If you were to pass that starlight through a crystal prism, it would unfurl into a beautiful rainbow. This is called a spectrum. Starlight contains every color imaginable, and hidden within those colors are secrets. By studying the specific shades of red, or blue, or gold in a beam of starlight, astronomers can tell what the star is made of, how hot it is, and how fast it is moving. It is like reading a letter written in rainbows. Imagine these beams of light as golden threads, weaving through the darkness, connecting every corner of the universe. You are part of this web. The light touches you, and in doing so, connects you to the nuclear fires of distant suns and the quiet drift of ancient galaxies. Let us drift now, following these threads of light back to their source. We are floating toward the stellar nurseries, the places where stars are born. These are called nebulae. The word nebula comes from the Latin word for cloud or mist, and that is exactly what they are. Imagine floating through a vast, glowing mist. These are not small clouds like the ones that drift over a mountain range. They are colossal structures, spanning tens or even hundreds of light years across. They are made of gas and dust, the building blocks of the universe waiting to be assembled. Picture the most famous of these nurseries, the Orion Nebula. Located in the Sword of the Hunter constellation, it is a place of quiet creation. If you were to float inside it, you would be surrounded by swirls of color. The gas there glows in soft hues of pink and red, the signature of hydrogen gas being warmed by newborn stars. There are ribbons of emerald green from oxygen and deep velvety blues from dust reflecting the light of nearby suns. It feels cool here and impossibly quiet. These clouds are not solid, they are thinner than the finest smoke. Yet, over millions of years, gravity works its gentle magic. It pulls the dust and gas together. Slowly, patiently, the particles drift toward one another. A small clump forms, and its gravity pulls in more dust, and then more. It is a slow accumulation, a gathering of material that happens over eons. Within these nebulae, we find structures that look like sculptures. The pillars of creation, located in the Eagle Nebula, look like 3 giant towers of gas and dust, standing tall against the starry background. They look solid, like stone monuments, but they are made of cold hydrogen. Inside these pillars, nestled deep within the protective blankets of dust, new stars are forming. They are like seeds in the earth, waiting for the moment to bloom. As the clump of gas grows heavier, it begins to spin. It collapses inward, growing warmer and denser. This is the protostar phase. It is not yet a star, but a star in the making. It glows with a dull red heat, gathering strength. Finally, when the pressure in the center becomes great enough, a spark ignites. Nuclear fusion begins. The star turns on. It pushes back the surrounding dust with a powerful wind of light, clearing a space around it, announcing its arrival to the galaxy. It is a process of such elegance and patience. There is no rush in the cosmos. A star takes as long as it needs to form, sometimes millions of years. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Let the image of these pastel-colored clouds soothe you. Imagine yourself weightless, drifting through a mist of soft violet and rose, feeling the gentle tug of gravity, the slow rhythmic dance of creation. It is a place of potential, where the chaotic dust finds order and becomes a beacon of light. As we leave the nursery, we witness the life of the star itself. Stars, like living things, have a life cycle. They are born, they live through a stable middle age, and eventually they transform. Most stars, including our own sun, spend the majority of their lives in a state called the main sequence. This is a state of perfect balance. Imagine a tug of war. On one side, you have gravity, constantly pulling the star inward, trying to crush it down to a single point. On the other side, you have the energy from the fusion in the core, pushing outward, trying to expand the star. In a main sequence star, these two forces are perfectly equal. The star is stable. It hums with a steady, consistent energy. Our sun has been in this state for about 4.5 billion years, and it will remain there for another 5 billion years or more. It is the heartbeat of our solar system, a reliable, rhythmic pulse of warmth and light. Visualize the sun not as a blinding fire, but as a warm, glowing ball of plasma. Feel the vibration of its energy. It is a low, steady hum, a sound of immense power contained and controlled. This balance is what allows life to flourish.
It is the stability of the stars that allows planets to circle them in peace. But stars are not static. They change, slowly, over timescales that are hard for us to comprehend. When a star like our sun eventually runs out of its hydrogen fuel, it does not simply fade away, it transforms. The core contracts and the outer layers expand. The star grows larger, swelling up to become a red giant. A red giant is a star in its autumn years. It is cooler than a white or blue star, glowing with a gentle orange-red light. If our sun were a red giant, it would be so large it would swallow the inner planets. Yet, despite this size, it is peaceful. The outer layers are tenuous, drifting slowly away into space like smoke rings from a pipe. Eventually, the red giant sheds its outer layers completely. These layers drift off to form a planetary nebula, a beautiful shell of glowing gas that looks like a ring or a butterfly in space. Left behind in the center is the core of the star, now exposed and incredibly hot. This is a white dwarf. A white dwarf is a small, dense star, about the size of the Earth, but with the mass of the Sun. It is no longer generating new energy. It is simply radiating the heat it has stored up over billions of years. It is like a coal in a fireplace, glowing softly long after the fire has gone out. These white dwarfs will shine for trillions of years, slowly cooling, slowly fading, like embers in the cosmic dark. There is a serenity in this cycle. It reminds us that change is natural. Things do not end, they evolve. The material shed by the red giant goes back into the galaxy, enriching the clouds of dust and gas, becoming the seeds for the next generation of stars. It is a circle of life on a galactic scale, a recycling of matter and energy that has been going on since the beginning of time. Relax into this flow. Feel the rhythm of the stellar life cycle, the gathering of dust, the ignition of light, the steady shining for billions of years, the gentle expansion, and the quiet fading. It is a slow, deep breath of the universe, in and out, creation and release. As we drift away from the individual stars, we pull back to see the patterns they form. From our vantage point on Earth, we have looked up for thousands of years and connected the dots. These are the constellations. There are 88 officially recognized constellations in our night sky. They are like puzzle pieces that cover the entire celestial sphere. But they are more than just official boundaries. They are the stories of humanity projected onto the canvas of the heavens. Long ago, before maps and GPS, sailors used the stars to navigate the vast, featureless oceans. They learned the positions of the constellations. They knew that if they kept a certain star on their left shoulder, they would reach home. The stars were their guides, They're steadfast companions in the lonely dark. Think of the North Star, Polaris. It is not the brightest star in the sky, but it is special because it sits almost directly above the Earth's North Pole. As the Earth spins, the entire sky appears to rotate around this one stationary point. While other stars rise and set, moving across the sky like a grand procession, Polaris remains fixed, a steady anchor in the northern sky. For centuries, travelers have looked for its comforting light to find their way. Visualize yourself tracing these lines in the sky. Find the Big Dipper, the ladle made of 7 bright stars. Follow the curve of its handle to Arcturus, a bright orange star. Find the W shape of Cassiopeia, the queen sitting on her throne. These shapes are familiar friends. They return to us season after season. Orion hunts in the winter, his belt of 3 stars shining bright and cold. Scorpius crawls across the southern horizon in the summer, its red heart, Antares, glowing in the warmth of July. The constellations remind us that we are pattern seekers. We look for meaning and connection. And even though the stars in a constellation may be unrelated to each other, one might be 10 light years away and the one next to it 1,000 light years away, from our perspective, they form a picture. It is a matter of perspective. The universe offers us beauty, and we offer it stories. As you lie there, imagine invisible lines drawn between the stars, creating shapes of bears and hunters, swans and lyres. It is a celestial gallery of art, painted with light, open every night for you to enjoy. The stars do not change their positions in our lifetime. They are the same stars your grandparents saw, and the same stars their ancestors saw. They are a permanent, reassuring presence, watching over the world as it sleeps. Now, let us expand our view even further. We are not just looking at random stars. We are looking into the body of our home. We live in a galaxy called the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy. Imagine a pinwheel, vast and flat, spinning slowly in the dark.
It is immense. If you could travel at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to cross from one side to the other. It contains anywhere from 100 billion to 400 billion stars. That is more stars than there are grains of sand on all the beaches of the world. Our sun is just one of these billions of stars. We are not in the center, and we are not at the very edge. We are located in a quiet, suburban neighborhood of the galaxy, known as the Orion Arm. We are about halfway out from the center. This is a good place to be. It is calm here, far from the crowded, chaotic activity of the galactic core. Why do we call it the Milky Way? If you are lucky enough to be in a place with very dark skies, away from the lights of the city, you can see it. It looks like a faint, glowing band of light stretching across the sky. The ancient Greeks thought it looked like a river of milk spilled across the heavens. The Romans called it the Via Lactea, the Milky Road. What you are actually seeing when you look at that band is the combined light of billions of distant stars, too far away to be seen individually, blending together into a soft white glow. You are looking edgewise into the disk of our own galaxy. Visualize this grand structure, a spinning river of milk and diamonds. It moves with a slow, majestic momentum. It takes the sun about 230 million years to complete one orbit around the center of the galaxy. This period is sometimes called a cosmic year. The last time the sun was in this part of its orbit, dinosaurs were just beginning to walk the Earth. The galaxy turns slowly, a great wheel of time and matter. At the very center of this wheel, 26,000 light-years away from us, lies a mystery. A supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star. But do not fear it. It is the anchor of our galaxy. Its immense gravity helps to hold the spiral structure together. It is quiet now, sleeping, a dark heart in the center of a city of lights. Feel the comfort of belonging to such a magnificent system. You are not floating aimlessly in a void. You are part of a great, structured community of stars.
You are riding on a planet, circling a star, which is circling the heart of a galaxy, which is drifting through the universe. It is a nested cradle of safety, layers of gravity holding you, keeping you right where you belong. As we look beyond the boundaries of our own Milky Way, we realize we are not alone. The universe is filled with these islands of light. We call them galaxies. Until about 100 years ago, astronomers thought the Milky Way was the entire universe. They thought the fuzzy patches they saw in their telescopes were just nearby clouds of gas. But then we learned the truth. Those fuzzy patches are other galaxies, distinct and separate, separated from us by millions of light-years of empty space. There are likely 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each one is a collection of billions of stars, dust, and gas. They come in many shapes. Some are spirals like ours, with graceful arms winding out from a glowing center. Some are elliptical, shaped like eggs or footballs, glowing with the golden light of older stars. These elliptical galaxies are often the largest inhabitants of the universe, calm and featureless, like giant, glowing swarms of bees. And some are irregular, with no defined shape, looking like chaotic splashes of paint against the dark canvas. These are often small galaxies, or galaxies that have passed close to one another, their shapes distorted by the gentle tug of gravity. Consider our neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. It is the nearest major galaxy to us. It is a spiral, slightly larger than the Milky Way. It is drifting toward us, and we are drifting toward it. In about 4 billion years, our 2 galaxies will meet. But this will not be a violent collision. Galaxies are mostly empty space. The stars are so far apart that they will likely pass right by each other. Instead of a crash, it will be a dance. The 2 galaxies will pass through one another, their gravity swirling them together until they merge to form a new, larger elliptical galaxy. It is a slow, graceful waltz that takes billions of years to complete. Imagine these galaxies as distant, glowing islands in a dark, infinite ocean. They drift silently. The space between them is vast and deep. It is the intergalactic void. But even this void is peaceful. It creates the separation that allows each galaxy to be its own world, its own collection of wonders. Visualize the Hubble Deep Field image. Astronomers pointed a telescope at a tiny, empty patch of sky, a patch no bigger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. They left the shutter open for days, soaking up the faint light. When they looked at the image, that tiny patch of darkness was filled with thousands of galaxies.
Spirals, ovals, irregulars, jewels of every color scattered across the velvet black. It showed us that the universe is teeming with light, layer upon layer, extending out to the edge of visibility. Let this sense of scale wash over you. It does not make you small, it makes you part of something infinite. You are the observer of this grandeur. Your eyes are the windows through which the universe sees itself. As we zoom back in from the galaxies to the stars themselves, let us appreciate their variety. Stars are not all the same. They are a family of different colors, sizes, and temperatures. We tend to think of fire as red and hot, but in the stars, the colors tell a different story. The color of a star is a direct result of its temperature. Imagine a blacksmith heating a piece of iron. At first, it glows a dull red. As it gets hotter, it turns orange, then yellow. If it gets even hotter, it becomes white, and finally a brilliant blue-white light. The stars follow this same rule. The coolest stars are the red dwarfs. These are the most common stars in the universe. They are small, often only a fraction of the size of our sun. They glow with a soft, ruddy light. Because they burn their fuel so slowly, they live for an incredibly long time. Some red dwarfs will shine for trillions of years, long after the other stars have faded. They are the steady, enduring embers of the cosmos. Our sun is a yellow star. It is of medium heat, a yellow dwarf. Its light is nearly white, but our atmosphere scatters the blue light, making the sun appear yellow to our eyes. It sits in the middle of the range, a perfect balance for life. Then there are the blue giants. These are the rock stars of the stellar world. They are massive, hot, and incredibly bright. They burn their fuel furiously, shining with a fierce, piercing blue light. Because they live so fast, they die young, often exploding after only a few million years. But while they live, they are the beacons of the galaxy, visible across vast distances. Astronomers use a tool called spectroscopy to understand these colors. By splitting the starlight into a rainbow, they can read the chemical fingerprints of the star. Dark lines appear in the rainbow, creating a barcode that tells us exactly what elements are in the star's atmosphere. We can tell that a star thousands of light years away has iron or calcium or sodium. Visualize the night sky as a painting. It is not just white dots. Look closely and you might see the orange tint of Betelgeuse in Orion, a red supergiant that is cool and vast. Look for Rigel, also in Orion, shining with a diamond-hard blue-white light. Look for the golden glow of Arcturus. The sky is a mosaic of temperatures, a visual symphony of physics playing out in the dark. Let the colors soothe your mind. The warm, cozy red of the small dwarfs, the cheerful yellow of our sun, the cool, calm blue of the giants. They are all suspended there, shining steadily, painting the dark canvas of space with soft light. Within this tapestry, there are objects even more exotic, remnants of stars that have finished their lives. We spoke of white dwarfs, the cooling embers, but there are also neutron stars and black holes. When a massive star ends its life in a supernova explosion, its core collapses under its own weight. It gets squeezed tighter and tighter until the atoms themselves are crushed. Electrons are pushed into protons, turning them into neutrons. The result is a neutron star. Imagine a ball of matter only about 12 miles across, the size of a city, but containing more mass than the sun. It is incredibly dense. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh 1 billion tons. It is a smooth, perfect sphere, spinning rapidly in the silence of space. Some of these neutron stars emit beams of radio waves, sweeping across the sky like the beam of a lighthouse. We call these pulsars. From Earth, we hear them as a steady, rhythmic pulse. Click, click, click. Some spin hundreds of times a second, creating a hum, a cosmic tone that resonates through the magnetic fields. And then there are the black holes. If a star is even more massive, the collapse does not stop at the neutron star stage. Gravity wins completely. The star crushes itself down to a single point of infinite density. The gravity becomes so strong that not even light can escape. But don't think of black holes as monsters. Think of them as the valleys of the universe. They are places where the fabric of space creates a deep, quiet pocket. Around a black hole, there is a boundary called the event horizon. It is the point of no return, but it is also a place of profound silence. Once you cross it, you are cut off from the rest of the universe. It is a place of ultimate rest, where time and space behave in ways we can barely imagine.
There is a theory that supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies actually sing. The hot gas swirling around them vibrates, sending pressure waves out into the cosmos. These waves are like sound waves, but far too low for human ears to hear. In the Perseus cluster of galaxies, astronomers have detected a note being hummed by a black hole, a B-flat, 57 octaves below middle C. It is a deep, resonant drone that has been playing for billions of years, heating the gas around it, keeping the galaxy warm. Feel the vibration of that deep, low note, a hum of stability, heavy, grounding. The universe is not just light, it is gravity, mass, and rhythm. These dense remnants are the anchors, the heavy weights that curve the sheet of space-time, creating the paths for other stars to follow. As we consider the space between these heavy objects, we come to the mystery of the expanding universe and the dark things that fill the void. The universe is getting bigger. Every second, the space between the galaxies stretches a little bit more. It is not that the galaxies are moving through space, it is that space itself is being created between them. Imagine a raisin bread rising in the oven. The raisins are the galaxies. As the dough rises, the raisins move apart from each other, even though they are not moving themselves. This expansion means the universe is breathing out. It is growing cooler and more spacious. There is infinite room to breathe. Visualize your own lungs filling with air, expanding, creating space. The universe does the same. It is an opening up, a releasing of tension, a drift into a wider, freer state. Holding this expansion together is something we cannot see: dark matter. We do not know exactly what it is, but we know it is there because of its gravity. It acts like a cosmic glue. Without dark matter, galaxies would spin so fast they would fly apart. It is the invisible scaffolding of the universe, the unseen hand that cradles the stars and keeps them safe in their orbits. And pushing the universe apart is dark energy. It is a gentle pressure inherent in empty space, pushing everything away from everything else. It ensures that the universe will not collapse back in on itself. It will continue to expand, gently, forever. There is also the cosmic microwave background. This is the afterglow of the Big Bang. It is a faint heat that fills the entire universe. No matter where you look, in every direction, there is a faint whisper of microwave energy. It is the oldest light in the universe, stretched out by the expansion until it is invisible to our eyes, but visible to our instruments. It is like the lingering warmth in a room after a fire has gone out. It surrounds us, a uniform blanket of energy, only a few degrees above absolute zero. It is the background hum of existence, a reminder of our common origin. Drift in this expanding space. Feel the vastness. There are no walls here, no boundaries, just an endless, safe emptiness held together by invisible forces, expanding gently into the future. Finally, let us bring these wonders back to you. Let us connect the iron in the core of a star to the blood in your veins. We are, quite literally, made of stardust. In the beginning, after the Big Bang, the universe was simple. It was made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium. There was no carbon, no oxygen, no iron, no gold. There were no ingredients to make a planet, or a flower, or a human being. These heavy elements were forged in the fiery hearts of stars. Inside the core of a star, the pressure is so high that atoms are smashed together to create new, heavier atoms. 3 helium atoms smash together to make carbon. Carbon smashes with helium to make oxygen. This process, called nuclear fusion, builds the elements one by one. For billions of years, stars acted as cosmic alchemists, turning simple gas into the complex elements of life. When these stars reached the end of their lives, when the red giants puffed off their outer layers, or the blue giants exploded in supernovae, they scattered these new elements out into the galaxy. The carbon in your cells, the oxygen in your lungs, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, every single atom of it was created inside a star that lived and died billions of years ago. You are not just in the universe, you are of the universe. You are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Imagine the glitter of gold. That gold was likely created in the collision of 2 neutron stars. Imagine the iron that makes your blood red. That iron was the final element fused in the core of a dying giant before it collapsed. You carry the history of the galaxy within your physical body. You are a collection of ancient atoms gathered together for a brief moment to form you. You are as old as the stars themselves. Feel this connection. It is a sense of belonging that goes deeper than the ground beneath your feet.
It goes to the very atomic structure of your being. You belong here. You are built from the same light and dust as the nebulae and the galaxies. You are a child of the stars. Let this truth settle over you like a warm blanket. You are stardust, breathing. You are the universe, sleeping. Now let us slowly begin our return. We have traveled from the speed of light to the birth of stars. From the spiral arms of the Milky Way to the iron in your blood, we have seen the vastness and the intimacy of the cosmos. Visualize the night sky once more, but now let the stars blur slightly. Let their light become soft and diffuse. The vast distances no longer feel overwhelming. They feel spacious and comforting. The silence of space is not empty, it is peaceful. Feel the gravity of Earth holding you. The same gravity that holds the moon in its orbit and the Earth in its path around the sun is holding you safely in your bed. It is a gentle, constant hug from the planet. Bring your awareness back to your breath, the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your chest, in and out, like the pulsing of a variable star, like the tides of the cosmic ocean. Let your body sink deeper into the mattress. Your legs are heavy, warm, and relaxed. Your arms are limp and restful. Your mind is quiet, drifting on the edge of sleep. The stars will keep shining while you sleep. The galaxy will keep turning. The universe will keep expanding. You do not need to worry about any of it. It is all unfolding exactly as it should, in a perfect, silent rhythm. You can rest now. You can let go. The night is here to cradle you. The stars are here to watch over you. Drift. Float. Sleep. Good night, friend. Good night. Hello, friend. I am your guide, and tonight I will be your guide on a journey through the deepest, most quiet reaches of the cosmos. We are going to travel far from the noise of the day, far from the schedules and the lists and the demands of the waking world. We are going to drift upward into the velvet sanctuary of the night sky, where the air is cool, the silence is profound, and the only movement is the slow, majestic turning of the galaxy itself. But before we begin our ascent, let us take this time to truly arrive in the present moment. There is no rush. The universe has existed for billions of years, and it will wait for you. This moment is yours. It is a space carved out of time, designed entirely for your rest and your comfort. Find a position that feels right for you tonight. Perhaps you are lying on your back, allowing your spine to lengthen and settle into the mattress. Or perhaps you are curled on your side, pulling the covers up to your chin, creating a warm cocoon of safety. However you choose to rest, know that you are supported. The surface beneath you is solid and steady, holding you up, allowing you to surrender the weight of your body completely. Close your eyes. Let the visual world fade away. The lights are dim, the shadows are soft, and the boundaries of the room seem to dissolve into a gentle, comforting darkness. Imagine for a moment that the ceiling above you is opening up. It does not disappear suddenly, but rather fades away, misting into transparency, revealing the vast, open theater of the night sky above. The air is fresh and crisp, carrying the scent of dew-covered grass and the subtle, clean fragrance of the earth at rest. It is the smell of night, cool, clarifying, and deeply soothing. Imagine this cool air touching your face, soothing your brow, brushing past your cheeks like a soft feather. It is a cooling touch that signals to your body that the work of the day is done. Take a slow, deep breath in, drawing this cool, starlit air into your lungs. Feel it filling your chest, expanding your rib cage, creating space within you. Hold it for a heartbeat, suspending the moment, and then release it slowly. As you exhale, imagine a wave of warmth flowing through your body, starting at the very top of your head and washing down over you like a gentle stream. Let us trace this wave as it moves. Bring your awareness to your forehead. Smooth out the small muscles there. Let your eyebrows drift apart. Allow your eyes to rest heavy in their sockets, floating in the darkness. Unclench your jaw. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth, resting loosely. Feel the tension draining out of your face, leaving your expression soft and neutral. Let the wave move down into your neck and shoulders. These are the places where we often carry the burdens of the world, holding them tight without even realizing it. But now you can set those burdens down. Visualize your shoulders dropping, sinking deeper into the mattress, moving away from your ears. Feel the muscles of your neck lengthening, becoming loose and pliable. Allow the relaxation to flow down your arms, past the elbows, through the forearms, and into the wrists. Feel your hands opening, your fingers uncurling.
Your palms feel warm and heavy, as if they are resting on a surface of soft, sun-warmed stone. There is nothing you need to hold on to anymore. You can let go. Bring your attention to your chest and your heart. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath. It is a slow, rhythmic tide, moving in and out, steady and reliable. With each exhale, feel your chest softening, your heart rate slowing down to match the peaceful tempo of the night. Let this softness travel down into your abdomen, releasing any tightness, allowing your breath to deepen and reach the bottom of your lungs. Feel the wave of relaxation travel down your spine, vertebra by vertebra, untying the knots, smoothing out the tension, until your entire back feels broad and supported. Let your hips settle. Let the large muscles of your thighs release their grip. Feel your knees soften. Let the relaxation flow down your shins and calves, into your ankles, and finally into your feet. Feel your toes relaxing, one by one. You are now completely supported, a part of the stillness. You are heavy, yet you feel weightless, as if you could float up off the bed and drift into the sky. You are safe, you are warm, you are ready to listen to the whispers of the universe. Tonight, we will count the wonders of the sky. We will explore the nature of starlight, the nurseries where stars are born, and the long, slow rhythms of their lives. These are the facts of our existence, stories written in light and time, stories that are as comforting as they are vast. Let us begin with the light itself. When you look up at a star, you are receiving a visitor. The beam of light that touches your eye has traveled across a distance so vast it defies our human understanding. Starlight is not instantaneous. It is a traveler. Light moves at a specific speed, a cosmic speed limit that governs the universe. It travels at approximately 186,000 miles per second. It is the fastest thing there is, yet the universe is so wide that even light must take its time. Consider the journey of a single photon, a particle of light. Before it can travel across space to reach you, it must first escape the star that created it. Deep in the core of a star, like our Sun, energy is born through nuclear fusion. A photon is created. But the core of a star is incredibly dense, packed tight with atoms. The photon cannot fly out in a straight line. It bounces, it collides, it dances a chaotic, crowded dance, jostling its way outward, millimeter by millimeter. This journey from the center of the star to the surface is known as the random walk. It is a path of immense patience. It can take a photon anywhere from 10,000 to 170,000 years just to travel from the center of the sun to its surface. Think of that. The sunlight that warms your face on a summer afternoon began its journey during the last ice age. It has been trying to reach you for thousands of years. It is ancient light, purified by its long struggle to be free. Once the photon reaches the surface of the sun, it is finally released. It flies out into the vacuum of space. Now it travels free and fast. It crosses the 93 million miles between the sun and the Earth in just 8 minutes and 20 seconds. It rushes past the planet Mercury, past Venus, and finally arrives here, ending its long, epic journey by landing gently on your skin. But the sun is our closest neighbor. The other stars are much, much farther away. This creates a beautiful phenomenon. Looking at the night sky is like looking into a time machine. You are never seeing the universe as it is right now. You are seeing it as it was. When you look at the North Star, Polaris,
You are seeing light that left the star over 300 or 400 years ago. You are seeing the star as it was when Shakespeare was writing his plays, or when the Taj Mahal was being built. That light has been traveling through the silent void for centuries, carrying the image of the past, preserving it until it reaches your eyes tonight. If you look at the Andromeda Galaxy, the nearest major galaxy to our own, you are seeing light that is 2.5 million years old. That light began its journey before modern humans walked the Earth. It traveled through the darkness while civilizations rose and fell, while ice ages came and went, while history unfolded. It traveled in silence, steady and true, to reach you in this exact moment. There is a profound peace in this realization. The night sky is a museum of history. It reminds us that nothing is ever truly lost. The past is still there, shining down on us, suspended in the amber of space. And what is the color of this universe? We see the stars as white points of light, but they are filled with color.
If we were to take all the light from all the galaxies, the billions of stars, the glowing gas clouds, the swirling dust, and blend it all together into a single beam, what color would the universe be? Astronomers have done this calculation. They analyzed the light from 200,000 galaxies. They found that the average color of the universe is not black or blue or fiery red. It is a soft, creamy beige, a pale, comforting white with a hint of warmth. They named this color cosmic latte. Visualize this color, a soft, warm, milky white. Imagine the entire universe wrapped in this gentle hue. It is not a harsh, blinding white, but a soothing, neutral tone, like the color of unbleached parchment or the foam on a warm drink. It is the color of balance. The universe, in its average state, is a place of warmth and softness. Now let us drift further out, following the threads of light back to their origins. We are floating toward the great stellar nurseries, the places where stars are born. These are the nebula. The word nebula comes from the Latin word for mist or cloud, and that is exactly what they are, colossal clouds of dust and gas floating in the void. But these are not like the fleeting clouds of Earth. These are structures of immense size and beauty, spanning tens or hundreds of light years. Imagine floating toward the Eagle Nebula, home to the famous pillars of creation. Through the eyes of modern telescopes, like the James Webb Space Telescope, we can see these pillars in breathtaking detail. They rise up like towering mountains of dust, 3 giant fingers pointing into the infinite. In visible light, they look solid and dark, like stone monuments. But in infrared light, which can see through the dust, they become ghostly and translucent. They glow with a soft, ethereal light, shimmering in shades of amber and gold. They look delicate, like curtains of silk blowing in a slow-motion wind. Inside these pillars, deep within the protective clouds, new stars are forming. These are protostars. They are like small, glowing knots in the fabric of the nebula. Imagine them as warm hearths in a cold winter night. They are gathering dust, pulling it in with their gentle gravity, growing heavier and hotter. Sometimes these young stars send out jets of gas, like a playful splash in a pool. These jets collide with the surrounding dust, creating bow waves that look like lava or crimson ripples in the water. It is a scene of creation, but it is happening in slow motion. To us, the pillars look perfectly still. The changes happen over thousands of years. It is a stillness that masks a profound transformation. The colors of the nebula are a lullaby for the eyes. There is the deep, rich red of hydrogen gas, glowing like a neon sign that has been dimmed to a whisper. This is called an emission nebula. The gas itself is shining. Then there is the soft, powdery blue of reflection nebula. These clouds do not make their own light. They simply reflect the starlight of their neighbors. They scatter the blue light, just as our sky scatters sunlight, creating a hazy, dreamlike sapphire mist. And then there are the dark nebula. These are the silhouettes. The Horsehead Nebula is the most famous of these. It looks like the shadow of a knight on a chessboard, a dark head and neck rising up against a curtain of glowing red gas. It is a cloud so dense that it blocks the light behind it. It is a cosmic shadow, a place of secrets. Imagine drifting through these clouds. The mist is cool and tenuous. It is thinner than the air at the top of the highest mountain, thinner than the vacuum inside a laboratory. Yet there is enough of it to catch the light, to paint the darkness with strokes of pink and violet, emerald and gold. It is a silent art gallery, created by gravity and time, hanging in the emptiness for no one and everyone to see. You are weightless here. You are floating through the cosmic cotton, surrounded by the raw material of stars. It is a place of potential. Every atom in your body was once floating in a cloud just like this. You are made of this dust. You are returning to the nursery, to the place where the story of matter begins. As the dust collapses, it eventually ignites. A star is born. This brings us to the life cycle of the stars, a rhythm that beats on a timescale of billions of years. Stars are not static objects. They are living, breathing entities. They are born, they live a long, stable life, and eventually they change and fade. Our own sun is in the prime of its life. It is a main sequence star. This means it has found a perfect balance. Gravity is constantly trying to crush the star inward, to squeeze it down to a point. But the nuclear fire in its core is pushing outward, trying to expand the star. These two forces, gravity pulling in, energy pushing out, are locked in a perfect stable embrace. This balance allows the sun to shine steadily for billions of years.
It is a reliable, constant friend. But the sun is not silent. It vibrates. The entire body of the sun rings like a bell. Millions of different sound waves bounce around inside it. This is called helioseismology. The sun pulses and oscillates, its surface rising and falling in a slow, rhythmic breathing. The primary heartbeat of the sun repeats about every 5 minutes. Imagine that sound. It is too low for human ears to hear, a deep, resonant hum that vibrates through the solar system. It is a sound of immense power, contained and controlled. It is the ohm of our local universe, a steady background note that holds everything together. Astronomers have listened to other stars too. They have found heartbeat stars, pairs of stars that orbit each other in oval shapes. Every time they swing close to one another, their gravity pulls on the other, causing them to vibrate and ring. They pulse like a beating heart, a cosmic rhythm of attraction and release. Most stars will spend the vast majority of their lives in this stable, humming state. But eventually, the fuel begins to run low. The hydrogen in the core is used up. The balance shifts. When a star like the sun ages, it does not simply go out. It transforms. It takes a deep breath and expands. It becomes a red giant. The star swells up, growing larger and cooler. Its color shifts from yellow-white to a warm, glowing orange. If you could stand on a planet orbiting a red giant, the sun would fill a huge portion of the sky, bathing the world in a soft, sunset-colored light. It is the autumn of the star's life. It is a time of gentle expansion. Eventually, the red giant gently puffs its outer layers off into space. It does not explode. It simply lets go. The outer layers drift away to form a planetary nebula, a beautiful glowing ring of gas that expands slowly into the dark. Left behind in the center is the core of the star. It has shrunk down to become a white dwarf. This is a small, incredibly dense star, about the size of the Earth. It is no longer creating new energy. It is simply resting. It glows with a stored heat, shining like a white-hot coal in the fireplace long after the fire has died down. These white dwarfs are the elders of the universe. They are stable, solid, and incredibly long-lived. They will shine for trillions of years, slowly cooling, slowly fading, turning from white to yellow to red, and finally to black.
They are the quiet memory of the star that once was. There is a deep comfort in this cycle. It is not a tragedy, it is a transformation. The material that the red giant released, the glowing clouds of gas, drifts out into the galaxy. It mixes with other clouds. It cools and condenses. And eventually, it becomes the seed for a new nebula, a new nursery where new stars will be born. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your cells, all of it was forged in the hearts of these stars. You are part of this cycle. You are the stardust that has come together for a brief moment to breathe and to dream. Now, let us pull our focus back from the individual stars to the patterns they make in the sky. We are returning to the grassy hill, looking up at the tapestry of the night. For as long as humans have looked up, we have connected the dots. We have drawn lines between the bright points of light to create constellations. There are 88 officially recognized constellations that cover the entire sphere of the sky. They are like the puzzle pieces of the heavens. But before they were scientific boundaries, they were stories. They were the way our ancestors made sense of the dark. Imagine lying back and tracing the lines of the Big Dipper. It is perhaps the most famous shape in the northern sky. 7 bright stars forming a ladle. For some, it was a bear. For others, a plow. For sailors, it was a compass. By following the 2 stars at the end of the Dipper's bowl, you can draw a straight line across the sky to find Polaris, the North Star. Polaris is a special star. It sits almost directly above the Earth's North Pole. This means that as the Earth spins through the night, Polaris appears to stand perfectly still. All the other stars rise in the east and set in the west, or circle around the pole in great slow arcs. But Polaris is the anchor. It is the pivot point. For thousands of years, sailors on the open ocean, far from land, would look for this steady light. If they could find Polaris, they knew which way was north. They knew they were not lost. Visualize that steady point of light. It is a symbol of reliability. In a world that is constantly changing, constantly moving, the North Star remains fixed. It is a reassuring presence, watching over the turning world. The constellations change with the seasons, marking the passage of the year. In the winter, we see Orion the Hunter, with his belt of 3 bright stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. These 3 stars look like they are standing side by side, but they are actually hundreds of light years apart from each other. From our perspective, they align perfectly. In the summer, we see the Scorpion, with its red heart, the star Antares. Antares is a red supergiant, a star so massive that if it were placed in our solar system, it would reach out past the orbit of Mars. Its name means rival of Mars because its red color matches the red planet. These patterns are a comfort because they are permanent on the scale of a human life. The stars you see tonight are the same stars your grandparents saw when they were children. They are the same stars that shone down on the pyramids of Egypt. They are the same stars that guided the Polynesian voyagers across the Pacific. When you look at the constellations, you are sharing a view with all of humanity across all of time. You are part of a long, unbroken line of dreamers who have looked up and found peace in the order of the sky. Imagine invisible threads connecting the stars, drawing pictures of swans and dolphins, heroes and harps. The sky is a gallery of imagination. It is quiet art, painted with light on a canvas of infinite black. And as you trace these lines, remember that the space between the stars is not empty. It is filled with the quiet drift of atoms, the faint hum of the cosmic microwave background, and the slow, unseen expansion of the universe itself. We are barely scratching the surface of the wonders above. We have looked at the light, the clouds, the life of stars, and the patterns they form. But there is more. There is the structure of our own galactic home, the Milky Way, a river of silver that spans the sky. There are the other galaxies, drifting like islands in the dark ocean. There are the strange and beautiful remnants of stars that have passed on. But for now, let these first images settle in your mind.
The golden thread of a photon, traveling for 1,000,000 years to reach you. The soft pastel clouds of the nebulae, cool and still. The slow, rhythmic heartbeat of the sun. The steady, unmoving light of the North Star. These are the guardians of your sleep tonight. They are vast, they are ancient, and they are peaceful. Rest in the knowledge that you are part of this immense, beautiful system. You are not separate from the stars, you are made of them. The silence of the space between the galaxies is the same silence that rests within you now. As we prepare to journey further into the architecture of the Milky Way and the distant islands of the cosmos, let your breath deepen once more. Feel the gravity of the Earth holding you, a gentle but firm embrace from the planet that carries you through the void. You are safe, you are grounded, you are ready to drift deeper. Hello, friend. I am your guide, and we are continuing our journey through the quiet, velvet expanse of the cosmos. We have traveled far already, counting the stars and drifting through the mists of nebulae, but there is so much more to see. The universe is not just a collection of lights. It is a structure, a song, and a story that connects directly to you. Before we drift further, let us take a moment to recenter ourselves in this present moment. Whether you have just joined us, or if you have been traveling with us through the stars, let your body settle once more. Feel the support of the bed beneath you. It is your own personal island of gravity, holding you safe. Take a deep, slow breath. Inhale the stillness of the night. Imagine that with every breath, you are drawing in a sense of peace from the space around you. And as you exhale, release any remaining tension, letting it float away like a wisp of cloud in a clear sky. Let your shoulders drop. Let your hands uncurl. Let your legs become heavy and loose. There is no effort needed here. You are simply a passenger on this planet, drifting through the great ocean of space. Now, let us turn our gaze back to the sky. The architecture of the Milky Way. Imagine you are lying on that grassy hill again, on a night so dark and clear that the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a spilled path of diamond dust. For thousands of years, humans have looked up at this band of light and wondered what it was. The ancient Greeks called it a river of milk. The Romans called it the Via Lactea, the Milky Road. What you are seeing is the body of our own galaxy, viewed from the inside. We live inside of a vast, flat disk of stars. Because we are embedded within it, we see the rest of the disk as a band of light wrapping around the Earth. Visualize the Milky Way as it truly is, a magnificent barred spiral. If you could fly millions of light years above it and look down, it would look like a giant, glowing pinwheel. It is immense. It spans 100,000 light years from one side to the other. In the center, there is a bar of bright old stars, glowing with a warm golden light.
Extending from this bar are the majestic spiral arms, curving outward into the darkness. These arms are blue and white, dusted with the dark lanes of cosmic clouds where new stars are being born. They trail behind the turning galaxy like ribbons caught in a breeze. Our sun is just one of the hundreds of billions of stars in this city of light. We are not in the crowded, chaotic downtown of the galactic center, nor are we out in the lonely, sparse suburbs of the edge. We reside in a comfortable, quiet neighborhood about halfway out. We are located in a structure known as the Orion Arm, or sometimes the Orion Spur. It is a bridge of stars located between two of the major spiral arms, the Perseus Arm and the Sagittarius Arm. Think of it as a cozy, protected cul-de-sac in the great galactic metropolis. We are safe here, far from the intense radiation of the core, yet close enough to see the beauty of the spiral arms around us. Everything in the galaxy is moving. Just as the Earth orbits the Sun orbits the center of the Milky Way. We are moving at a speed of about 500,000 miles per hour, yet the ride is perfectly smooth. You don't feel a thing. It takes our solar system roughly 230 million years to complete one single orbit around the galaxy. This is called a galactic year. The last time Earth was in this exact spot in its orbit, the dinosaurs were just beginning to appear. The continents on Earth were shaped completely differently. We are travelers on a grand scale, circling a track that takes eons to complete. At the very heart of our galaxy, 26,000 light-years away from us, lies a heavy anchor. It is a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star. It has the mass of 4 million suns packed into a small space. But do not fear it. It is a sleeping giant. It is currently quiet, acting as the gravitational hub around which our entire galaxy turns. It holds us together, a dark heart beating slowly in the center of the light. Islands in the void, types of galaxies. Now let your imagination expand beyond the Milky Way. For a long time, we thought our galaxy was the entire universe. But we now know that the Milky Way is just one island in a vast archipelago. There are likely 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Each one is a collection of billions of stars, gas and dust, separated from the others by millions of light-years of silence. Imagine floating in the deep space between galaxies. It is perfectly dark here and perfectly quiet. In the distance, you see them glowing like jewels against the black velvet. Some are spirals, like our Milky Way. They are the most beautiful, with their graceful arms winding out from a glowing center, looking like cosmic whirlpools. Some are elliptical galaxies. These look like fuzzy, glowing footballs or eggs. They are often yellow or red, filled with ancient stars that have been shining for billions of years. They are the calm, wise elders of the universe, possessing no new gas to make stars, simply glowing with a steady, accumulated light. And some are irregular galaxies. These have no defined shape. They look like splashes of light or chaotic clouds. They are often small, young, and full of new star formation. Consider our nearest large neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. It is a spiral galaxy slightly larger than our own. If you know where to look in the autumn sky, you can see it with your naked eye as a faint, fuzzy smudge. That light has traveled for 2.5 million years to reach you. Andromeda and the Milky Way are drifting toward each other. Gravity is pulling them together across the void. In about 4 billion years, they will meet. But this will not be a crash. Galaxies are mostly empty space. The stars are so far apart that they will likely pass right past each other without touching. The 2 galaxies will pass through one another, dance a slow gravitational waltz, and eventually merge to form a new, larger galaxy. It is a union that will take billions of years to complete, a slow-motion embrace of 2 cosmic giants. To truly understand the scale of the galaxies, visualize the Hubble Ultra-Deep Field. Astronomers pointed the Hubble Space Telescope at a tiny patch of sky that appeared completely empty. The patch was the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length. They left the shutter open for days, soaking up the faintest trickles of light. When they processed the image, they were astounded. That tiny, empty grain of sand contained over 10,000 galaxies. Every dot in that image was not a star, but a galaxy containing billions of stars. There were spirals, ellipticals, and irregulars of every color: blue, white, yellow, and deep red. The red ones are the oldest and further away, their light stretched by the expansion of the universe over 13 billion years. This image reminds us that the universe is full.
In every direction you look, no matter how dark it seems, there are galaxies drifting in the deep. We are surrounded by an ocean of potential, an infinite sea of islands. Stellar colors and temperatures. Let us zoom back in now, from the galaxies to the individual stars that make them up. When you look at the sky, you might think all stars are white. But if you look closely, or if you were to float among them, you would see a beautiful spectrum of colors. Stars are like glowing coals in a cosmic fire. Their color tells us their temperature.
Imagine a blacksmith working with iron. As the metal heats up, it first glows a dull, deep red. As it gets hotter, it turns bright orange, then yellow. If it gets extremely hot, it turns white, and finally a piercing blue-white. The stars follow this exact rule. The coolest stars in the universe are the red dwarfs. These are small stars, often much smaller than our sun. They burn their fuel slowly and gently. Because they are cool, relatively speaking, they glow with a soft, ruddy red light. They are the most common stars in the galaxy, the quiet, enduring embers that will outlive everything else. Our sun is a yellow dwarf. It is hotter than a red star, shining with a steady, warm yellow-white light. It is a medium star, perfectly balanced to provide the heat necessary for life. Then there are the blue giants. These are the rock stars of the cosmos. They are massive, heavy, and incredibly hot. They burn their fuel with a ferocious intensity, shining with a brilliant, diamond-hard blue light. Because they are so hot, they live short lives, burning out in just a few million years. Astronomers use a tool called a spectroscope to read these colors. It acts like a prism, splitting the starlight into a rainbow. By looking at the specific bands of color in that rainbow, they can tell exactly what the star is made of. It is like reading a barcode. A dark line in the yellow part of the rainbow might tell us the star has sodium. A line in the red might tell us it has hydrogen. Visualize the night sky as a jewelry box. It is filled with rubies, topazes, and sapphires. Look at the constellation Orion. The star at his left shoulder, Betelgeuse, is a red supergiant. It glows with a distinct orange-red tint. Now look at his right foot, Rigel. It is a blue supergiant, shining with an icy, electric blue light. The contrast is beautiful. The universe is not monochrome. It is painted with thermal light, a canvas of varying temperatures and energies, all shining together in the dark. Exotic remnants, neutron stars, and black holes. Eventually, every star runs out of fuel. We have spoken of the peaceful white dwarfs, the remnants of stars like our sun. But what happens to the massive stars, the blue giants? Their endings are more dramatic, and they leave behind objects of incredible density and mystery. When a massive star collapses, it can squeeze its core so tightly that atoms themselves are crushed. Protons and electrons merge to form neutrons. The result is a neutron star. Imagine a sphere that is only about 12 miles across, roughly the size of a city like Manhattan or London. Now imagine that this small sphere contains more mass than our entire sun. It is incredibly dense. A single teaspoon of material from a neutron star would weigh 1 billion tons. These stars spin rapidly, sometimes hundreds of times a second. They emit beams of radio waves from their poles, like the beam of a lighthouse. As they spin, this beam sweeps across the Earth, and we detect it as a steady, rhythmic pulse. Click, click, click. These are called pulsars. They are the timekeepers of the galaxy, spinning with a precision that rivals atomic clocks. If the star is even more massive, the collapse does not stop at the neutron star stage. Gravity becomes the ultimate victor. The star crushes itself down to a single point of infinite density. It creates a hole in the fabric of space-time. This is a black hole. We often think of black holes as scary monsters, consuming everything. But in reality, they are simply places of extreme gravity. If you were far enough away, you could orbit a black hole just like you orbit a star. There is a boundary around a black hole called the event horizon. This is the point of no return. Once you cross it, the gravity is so strong that not even light can escape. Inside, there is only silence, the ultimate silence. But did you know that black holes can sing? Astronomers studying the Perseus galaxy cluster found something extraordinary. The supermassive black hole at the center of the cluster sends out pressure waves through the hot gas surrounding it. These waves are sound waves. They analyzed the pattern of the ripples and found the note.
The black hole is humming a B-flat, but it is a B-flat that is 57 octaves below middle C. This is a sound so deep, so low, that no human ear could ever hear it. Its frequency is 10 million years.
This means one single vibration takes 10 million years to complete. It is the lowest note ever detected in the universe, a deep, resonant drone that has been playing for billions of years. It carries energy out into the galaxy, keeping the gas warm, preventing it from cooling down too fast. It is a song of stability, a gravitational hum that maintains the balance of the cluster. Feel the vibration of that idea, a sound too deep to hear, but powerful enough to shape a galaxy. The universe is humming a lullaby of gravity. The expanding universe and dark matter. As we look at the spaces between the galaxies, we find that the universe is not static, it is growing. The universe is expanding. Imagine a loaf of raisin bread rising in an oven. The dough expands, carrying the raisins further apart from each other. The raisins are the galaxies, and the dough is space itself. Every second, millions of miles of new space are created between the galaxies. The universe is taking a deep breath, inhaling forever. It is becoming cooler, darker, and more spacious. There is infinite room to breathe here. What holds the galaxies together as they drift apart? If we look at how fast galaxies spin, they should fly apart like a spinning merry-go-round moving too fast. But they don't. They hold their shape. There is an invisible glue holding them together. We call it dark matter. We cannot see it. It does not give off light or reflect it. We only know it is there because of its gravity. It makes up about 27% of the universe. Think of it as the invisible scaffolding of the cosmos. It surrounds every galaxy like a giant protective halo, holding the stars in their orbits. And then there is dark energy. This is the force that is pushing the universe to expand. It makes up about 68% of the universe. It is a smooth, constant energy inherent in empty space itself. Together, dark matter and dark energy make up 95% of the cosmos. The stars, the planets, the gas, the dust, you, and everyone you know, we are made of normal matter, which is only 5% of the universe. We are the rare, shining foam on top of a deep, dark ocean. There is a comfort in this mystery. We are cradled by forces we cannot see, held together by an invisible embrace. We can also see the afterglow of the beginning. It is called the cosmic microwave background. It is a faint heat that fills the entire universe in every direction. It is the leftover warmth from the Big Bang, cooled down over 13 billion years. It surrounds us like a blanket. No matter where you look in the sky, this faint, uniform energy is there. It is the oldest light in existence, a relic of the moment the universe became transparent. It is a reminder that everything was once one point, one unity. We are stardust, the connection to life. This brings us to our final and perhaps most beautiful fact, the connection between the stars and you. In the very beginning, the universe was simple. It was made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium gases. There was no carbon to make cells, no calcium to make bones, no iron to make blood, no oxygen to breathe. So where did the ingredients for you come from? They were forged. Inside the cores of stars, a miraculous alchemy takes place. The immense pressure and heat smash simple atoms together to create heavier ones. A star spends its life fusing hydrogen into helium, then helium into carbon and oxygen. For the heaviest elements, like iron and gold, even the heat of a normal star is not enough. These elements are created only in the cataclysmic beauty of a supernova, the explosion of a dying star.
When a massive star explodes, it blasts these new heavy elements out into the universe. The cloud of dust that formed our solar system was enriched by the ashes of these ancient stars. The atoms that make up the Earth and the atoms that make up your body were once inside the heart of a star. The iron in your blood, the hemoglobin that carries oxygen to your brain, contains iron. Every single atom of that iron was created in the core of a giant star that died billions of years ago. The explosion that destroyed that star scattered the iron across the galaxy until it eventually came together to form the Earth and finally you. The calcium in your teeth, made in stars. The nitrogen in your DNA, made in stars. The oxygen filling your lungs right now, made in stars. You are, quite literally, made of stardust. Recent studies have shown that about 97% of the mass of the human body is composed of stardust. You are a collection of cosmic debris that has come together to form a conscious being. You are the universe waking up and looking at itself. You belong here. You are not a stranger to the cosmos. You are its child. You are built from the same blueprint as the galaxies. The iron in your blood is the same as the iron in the core of a planet.
The hydrogen in the water you drink is the same as the fuel burning in the sun. Feel this connection deep in your bones. Feel the weight of the history you carry. You are 13 billion years in the making. Conclusion. And now, my friend, our journey through the facts of the night is drawing to a close. We have traveled from the swift flight of a photon to the slow drift of the continents. We have seen the birth of stars in colorful clouds and heard the silent song of the black holes. Let all these images settle in your mind. Let them become a soft, blurring tapestry of comfort. You do not need to remember the numbers or the names. Just remember the feeling of vastness, the feeling of safety, the feeling of belonging. Bring your awareness back to your own body, resting here in this room. Feel the stillness of the air around you. It is the same stillness that fills the space between the stars. Feel the warmth of your blankets. It is the same warmth that radiates from the sun. Feel the heaviness of your limbs. It is the gravity of your home planet holding you close. Let us do one final scan of your body to ensure every muscle is asleep. Focus on your feet. Visualize a soft golden light, the light of a distant star, touching your toes. Feel them relax completely. Let that light move up to your ankles and your calves, warm, heavy, and loose. Let it flow into your knees and your thighs, releasing all tension, melting into the mattress. Let the starlight wash over your hips and your stomach. Your breath is slow and deep, like the tide of the universe. Feel the light move up your spine, relaxing each vertebra, spreading across your back. Let it flow into your shoulders, down your arms, past your elbows and wrists, into your hands. Your fingers are soft and empty. Feel the light gently warm your neck and your throat. Let it soften your jaw, your cheeks, and your eyes. Finally, let the light rest on your forehead, smoothing away every thought, leaving only peace. You are a creature of the stars, resting on a planet, spinning in a galaxy, drifting through the infinite. Everything is in its place. The stars will keep burning while you sleep. The gravity will keep holding you. The universe surrounds you with its silent, protective embrace. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere left to go. Just drift. Just float. Just be. Good night, Stardust. Good night. Good night.